The Bermuda just got their own Ur-Watar. Apparently Overlord is fan of fishing season. And we finally know the official release date of the next Link Joker support. I'm Mr. Timely, and you're watching Cardfight Update.
Stand up! Vanguard!
Hey Cardfighters, welcome back to another edition of Cardfight Update, and probably today's episode is going to be a short one, as seen as we didn't have a lot of big reveals. We only got 2 new cards revealed for the live stream, and we also got new information for the new support release dates for the next upcoming extra booster. And talking about this extra booster, we finally now know the official date of Light of Salvation, Logic of Destruction, and it's going to hit the English format on June the 7th. So put that date into your notebook if you're interested in Kaguro, Nova Grappler, Link Joker, and the new Bluster Blade support or Royal Paladin support. And probably in the first days of June and the last days of May are going to be the sneak peeks. So also note that if you want to participate in any of the sneaks during the time that they are going to be held. Now for the cards that were revealed, we got 2 major reveals, and we also got some Japanese promos that were also in the mix. So let's go quickly over these promos, as they're not of great importance, but who knows, maybe we'll get them and we might want to be interested in what they can do. Alright, so first off, we now know the next monthly shop promo, and that's going to be Bluster Javelin. So if we're going to get this one in the English format as well, then Shadow Paladin players, eat your heart out, go to the monthly shop tournaments and try to win your hot stand congratulations promo card of Bluster Javelin. Next up, we also got 3 new Bermuda Triangle promos. They aren't really that special, so we go over them really quickly, as their skills are very generic and not that worthwhile to talk about it. So first off, we've got a grade 2 10k called Dedicated Feelings Altair, and her skills continues on Rearguard Circle. If your Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater, this unit gets power plus 3k. It's nothing new, we have seen it in Royal Paladin before at the beginning of the Q4 sets, and I believe Kaguro also got one that's very similar to this one, and there's nothing really special to talk about that. It's just a 30k beat stick and nothing really more than that. Alright, next up we've also got a grade 1 promo, and this is Together Sensation Karin, and her skill is Auto on Vanguard and Rearguard Circle. When an attack hits the Vanguard, one of your units get power plus 5k until the end of turn. So another power increasing card in the field, another way to make more higher columns, but then again it's a hit effect. But we know that this skill can be activated whenever you want with the VR that's, I believe, called the Cannon VR. And that makes this card a lot better or more interesting in that build. Then lastly of the promos, we also got Happy Springer Luar, and her skills Auto Rearguard Circle. When it boosts, discard a card from your hand, and this unit gets power plus 5k until the end of the battle for each grade of your Vanguard. I don't know if that's really that worthwhile, as we're not really seeing that much extra draw on Bermuda Triangle as of the current releases. So maybe it becomes better, maybe it's just a discard for 5k. I'm personally not think that it's really that worth it, but these are just the promos, and usually these are not the most worthwhile cards to talk about. But we got some double rare, we got a double rare and a triple rare revealed that actually is worthwhile to talk about. The double rare that was revealed for Bermuda Triangle was Mastery Covern Mine, or Mine, depending on how you want to pronounce that. And her skill is Auto Rearguard Circle. When placed, counterblast 1, draw 2 cards, return a card from your hand to your deck, and shuffle it. If you have no rearguards with the same card name as your Vanguard on Rearguard Circle, return 3 cards instead of 1. So basically, if we are saying that we can fulfill the condition of having a Vanguard and a Rearguard card, she is actually an Ur-Watar on a grade 2 in Bermuda Triangle. And for those who don't know that what Ur-Watar is, it was an old stand trigger in the GR for Time Leap that basically let the deck plus insanely and filter the hand whatever you want. And what's so insane about the skill is that you draw 2 and put 1 back from your hand. So if you have a bad hand, a bad grade stacking hand, you can basically fix this and put triggers back into your deck. The only problem is, to not minus on your hand, you need to have the same card on your Vanguard Circle as on your Rearguard Circle. And that might be a little bit tough in the early game, as this also works on your grade 2 turn. But when you do it a little bit later, your grade 3 turn, it can be fixed. If we go back to the first VR that was revealed, Colorful Pastoral Sonata, if you run a build slowly focused around her, then there's a big chance you can use her skill first, then go through your deck, and if you're a bit lucky, you grab one of her immediately into your hand, and you can call it immediately. Then you use her skill, and you now have a Vanguard and a Rearguard Circle with the same name, and you only have to put one back in deck. Another thing that I wanted to highlight about this card is maybe it's not even that bad to put 3 cards back into your deck. And I know it sounds bad if you draw 2 and then put 3 back, so you're minusing 1 for a counterblast. It can never be good to counterblast 1 and go -1 on your hand by the result. That can never be a good skill. But if you look at it like this, you are in your final turn. You're gonna die next turn no matter what's gonna happen. You have a hand filled with cards you cannot use, and there are probably a lot of triggers. Then what you can do is call this card and resolve her skill, draw 2 cards, and put 3 triggers back into your deck. Yes, you minus on hand, but you just increase the chance of dry checking triggers significantly with that amount. And if you have another one in your hand, you can maybe do it again and put 6 triggers back into your deck. So depending on the scenario, it might even be good to just put 3 cards back into your deck if you want to have something to hit with maybe your dry checks or something. So there is a second part to this card that I think some people might overlook, as in your final turn moment, it doesn't matter if you're plussing or not, or if you're minusing a card. You don't care, you just want to kill them as effectively as possible. And increasing your drive checking chance for triggers might be one of those scenarios that you actually want to create. Also, what I think about this card is that probably with the way that they're designing these double R's and triple R's, if they're going to continue this trend, I think you can build a deck with only the VR, so there's going to be a lot of different VRs in your build, or you're going to go to a more focused route with maybe only 1 or 2 VRs, specific VRs, and then these double R's and triple R's, grade 2s and 1s are going to support that build. As I said before, this card, Mine, really screams Sonata, as Sonata helps you to fetch a card from your deck that has probably the same name as your Vanguard, and you can place it then on the Rearguard circle so you can fulfill her condition. But that was actually everything about the Bermuda Triangle reveals, but out of nowhere, Bushiroad decided to reveal a Kaguro card for the upcoming set after this one, and it was a triple rare nonetheless, and it was actually a pretty damn decent card. So let's jump right into that one, as this is Dragon Full Armored Buster. Yeah, that's a mouthful. And he got 2 very, very interesting skills. His first one is continuous Vanguard at the Rearguard circle. If your opponent has no rearguards, this unit gets power plus 3k. So it's just a 13k beat stick, nothing really special about it, very generic, but it's continuous, so if your opponent doesn't commit to the board in their turn, it's still 13k and it might be a little bit tough to deal with. But they just have to call 1 rearguard and it goes back to a 10k. The most value about this card is its second skill, and that's Auto Vanguard at the Rearguard circle. When placed, cost Soul Blast 2, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, retires it, and look at the 7 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with Overlord in the card name, add it to hand, and shuffle your deck. Basically, for the cost of Soul Blast 2, you go potentially +1, and your opponent's definitely going to go -1. And as seen as it's a Vanguard and Rearguard circle skill, it's another good right target to hit for Kaguro. We also have Berserk Dragon, now we also have this thing. So that's already looking pretty damn good, that most of your on right target for your grade 2 turns are going to be very strong and effective. And with the way that this skill works, it also can help you potentially fix your grade stock hand. If you don't have any grade 3s in hand, you can have the luck that in your top 7 there's an Overlord card and you potentially draw it. Also, if it isn't there, that means that next turn when you draw for turn, you probably didn't get your grade 3 anyways. So if you use the skill, you at least get to shuffle your deck and have another chance of top decking a grade 3. And another thing about this card is that it really screams Overlord, as with your top 7, to fetch an Overlord at all times, you probably want to run more than 4 Overlords. So with the upcoming Overlord the Great, I think most of the support are probably going to be Overlord centric, as Bushiroad is trying to push people away from Waterfall and to run Dragoning Overlord and Dragoning Overlord the Great in one specific build. And with cards like these, it is looking very appealing to do that. It's going to be very tempting for, I think, a lot of Kaguro players to try and build this and see how it's going, as this card already is pretty damn good. I'm very curious of how the rest is going to build, and we already seen Overlord the Great in action with Neoflame, and I think it's going to be very solid. I think a lot of Kaguro players are going to be very pleased with the support. And we just have to wait to see. Apparently we're going to see a lot more reveals during fishing season, as I honestly was expecting only Bermuda Triangle. But yeah, I think we're going to see something like Nova Grappler maybe next week. I'm very excited for that. And let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of these new reveals, about all the promos that were revealed that probably aren't really that interesting for us, as we usually don't get most of the promos. But at least the double rare grade 2 for Bermuda Triangle is looking very interesting. And this triple R Kaguro grade 2 is also looking very interesting. And I'm very excited for the upcoming reveals. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. And as always, guys, I'm Mr. Time Leaf. And I'll see you guys in the next one.